Greetings, people of the world. Matthew back with you. And I'm taking the opportunity in between some of my projects to do just some fun questing in White Knight Chronicles with some of my friends. One in particular who, without their assistance, I really could not have accomplished what I did for getting everything together for my tribute to my grandfather using this game. So I quest with this person on a regular basis whenever they're online, so I really owe a lot to this person, and so I really wanted to take the opportunity to just have some fun with these guys. So there are lots of online quests that you can do in White Knight Chronicles. This one in particular is known as Jungle Jailbreak, and this quest you have to cover the entire length of this forest and you have to kill 18 bosses. So it's like 18 boss duels that you have to pull off within an hour. But good teams can usually finish within half an hour, so that's something that's good to know. This is actually one of the tougher quests. The bosses are quite annoying here, but not impossible. So we're going through the various places here. There are bosses that do become available to you right away. There are others that you have to meet certain criteria to draw out and be able to fight them. So very important that you cover all your bases in this quest. So while this is going on, I guess I should also point out as well, even though you can see in the upper right hand corner that we are having a conversation, unfortunately you can't hear what we're saying. So this is pre-recorded and I'm recording my commentary here in post-production. Hopefully I'll be able to find a way to figure this out so that you can actually hear our conversations as we're actually doing the quest itself. That's what I'm hoping to be able to do one day. But as for who is the person responsible for helping me to be able to get to the point where I could actually do a proper tribute to my grandfather for my first video here on YouTube, you'll be noticing the person among the list of the names of the people who I'm playing with is a lady by the name of Pixie. And that is the second avatar of a person that I was originally introduced to back in February, known as Carinthia. And this person is the main reason why I was able to find so much of the stuff that I needed to build up my character so that I could advance the game, because in terms of difficulty, White Knight Chronicles, the first game itself is not all that bad in terms of difficulty, and the last boss in White Knight Chronicles 1 is pretty easy. But in White Knight Chronicles 2, the difficulty just increases it way up. It just gets a huge increase in difficulty. And so you really have to be able to take advantage of online questing in order to have a legitimate shot at beating the game. And so I'm very grateful to the fact that Pixie, as I said, who I originally knew as her first avatar, Carinthia, was so much of a benefit to me, and she is definitely the go-to girl if ever you need help with getting anything that you need to get stuff for advancing in the storyline or improving your weapons and armor. She's just become that much of a part of my life, and I just owe so much to her, and because of that I was able to get all the stuff that I needed in order to get everything for my tribute to my grandfather for my first video here on YouTube, and I cannot thank her enough for all of her help that she gave me, because without her I don't have a tribute to my grandfather, and I'm not on YouTube, so I just could not have done it without her. So, and here's the really cool thing about Pixie, or Carinthia. Sorry about that. The amazing thing about Pixie is that she's small, but she has been made a habit of proving that she is quite powerful. Unfortunately, there in that particular shot, she gets glitched behind a tree branch, but yeah, she magically appears right over there. Yeah, she likes showing off how big things can come in small packages, and she has done just that. She is a wrecking ball for something so small, and she really knows what she's doing. For Pixie, this is actually something that is become a part of her life, an essential part of her life as well, because starting out as Carinthia and now moving on to her Pixie avatar, this has become for her Facebook, her Skype. This has become her communication in the outside world, really. If you can believe it, she's actually a 56-year-old grandmother from Texas, and she was introduced to this game by her son-in-law, Brandon. Yeah, those of you watching who watch A&E and you watch that particular program where they have a pretty vicious mother-in-law, Carinthia is nothing like that. She is the true epitome of a Southern belle, and it definitely resonates with her, and she proves it every single time you go out and do a quest with her. She's just that wonderful of an individual. She's got a heart of gold, and she is just someone you can really turn to when you have something that you need to take care of. And knowing that you have that kind of person who you can count on, even though you've never seen what this person looks like, even though you live thousands of miles away from them, I mean, it's just something that it's a really wonderful feeling to know that someone like her has your back. And that she's willing to be so helpful to so many. I mean, if this is her interpretation of Southern hospitality, I very much appreciate it. It is very wonderful. So, yeah, that's how I perceive Carinthia and Pixie, one and the same. So, while we're taking the opportunity, I'll explain about where we are for this particular quest, Jungle Jailbreak. Now, even though it's called Jungle Jailbreak, this is something that you're going to see is actually quite a bit unusual, because we're about to make a bit of a transition here as we enter this snaking path. You'll see it in a moment. Notice anything different? Yeah, that's right. It's snowing in this jungle. Yeah, this place, it's basically representative of the 4 seasons. Each of the quarters of this location, called the Lost Forest, has its own seasons: spring, summer, winter, and autumn. And so we've already passed through the summer area, we're now in the winter area, we'll soon be getting to the fall area and finish out spring. And so, some of the most difficult bosses, in fact, the 2 most difficult bosses, are here in the winter area, and we're going to be coming up on them shortly. And you can even see our footprints in the snow. If you're paying attention, you can actually see our footprints get left in the snow as you run along. And if you're ever in the Lagnish Desert, which is another location in this game, you also get to see your footprints left in the sand as well, and that's really cool that they would go to that length to say, hey, we're covering all our bases. It really makes for a really wonderful package of a video game. So this is another one of the bosses, big ice beast. Normally known as a Fenrir, but in this particular quest, the Jungle Jailbreak, all of the bosses have different names than what they normally are. In this case, this boss is normally known as a Fenrir, but here he's known as a Vanagander. And so we have to try and break his icy shell, and we have succeeded. And we're actually making pretty good time. We're 10 minutes into the quest, and so we're not doing too badly here. Carinthia always wants to lead the way because, of course, she knows what she's doing. She's been playing this game for a lot longer than I have, anyway, because she plays it every single day, essentially. Okay, so here is the two bosses I was talking about. The big troll, Briarus, and the wyvern, Aetolia. And so, what's happening right now on my right is that one of our characters, one of our players, Equinox, has utilized his knight's power, so he's going to try and use it on the bad guys to try and bring them down. So you know you're weakening your opponent's the little crystal to the left of their name. It starts out blue. You also see it on next to our names as well. That's the health meter, and then the green crystals is the magic meter. And I think I mentioned this before, but in this game, the MP is the knight's fuel, as well as being used to cast various magic. So if you run out of MP when you're a knight, you simply go back to your regular form. But this location actually provides a very unique situation in this little stretch of the Lost Forest and the Jungle Jailbreak quest. So here, the Aetolia has taken flight, so you have to use an aerial attack unless you're using a long-range weapon like a bow, or also you can be using a spear or a longsword to be able to get a standard issue aerial attack. But with a sword, like I'm using, you have to add it on as part of your skills in order to utilize it. And you can't use every single skill you have. You can only use a fixed set of skills, as many as 21. So, essentially, you have to learn skills in order to unlock new ones that you can use that will work more effectively in battle. And as you can see, we're almost got this guy down. And Equinox knows this, and so this is where the unique situation happens. As long as there's an enemy that's still on screen and that your knight can lock onto, you can still retain your knight's power. But once there are no enemies to lock onto, then your knight's power will be deactivated.